Okay. All right, great. Coming off all open week, I thought we got better last week. Had 3 days of solid practice, of individual improvement, and some scheme things as we looked ahead to this week. So now we're into game week. Excited about being at home this week. You got to win your games at home to have a great season. You got to defend your territory. Coming off of watching tape, the 4 games of Murray, they're a good football team. I mean, I think it's 2 evenly matched teams, and thankful we're at home. We got to take advantage of that. Very impressed with I've known Preston Rice, their quarterback, for a long time. Obviously, his brother Tyler was our receiver coach, and so such a competitor, and gives them a lot of grit and and made a lot of plays for them this year. And good receivers, the offensive line. They've caught my eye in several things that they've done a good job with on defense. They're multiple and fast, and got a couple guys. Linebacker number 6 really jumps out at you, making some plays. Safety number 9. So good football team, be a good matchup for us, and we got to get better.
You look at an open week, and it's early in the year, obviously, after the third game. But did it come at a good time for you guys?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, you win this week, you say it came at a good time, but you wish you had one later on down the week. If you don't play well, you wish you would have jumped right back into it after, last week. And, keeping up with Southern Illinois, looking at them to see they played well against Arkansas State. You look at their total yards on offense, so leads me to believe, that that was a good team. We thought it when we left there. They're a good football team, and so that's 2 FBS teams that they played that they won and out yardage and stay tight to Arkansas State. So, we still got good players. We just got to play better. We've got to give our kids a chance to play fast and execute some things. And but just like in every game, you can have good players, you can have good schemes, but if you drop a ball, you give up a sack, and you stay in those 3rd and longs and stuff, it's still difficult to win. It's hard to overcome those things. And so, football is a situational game. And that's why they have downs and distance, and that's why they have a scoreboard. And, you have to play the game the right way and stay ahead of the chains.
You mentioned Preston and Tyler. Do you get any kind of extra insight through that, or is the game too much of a process to be in?
Yeah, it is. It's a process. Once you turn the tape off and you're to your X's and O's, it's kind of nameless faces. But think a lot of the Rice family and their dad and stuff. And so he's a great competitor. So we'll have our hands full.
What are some things you saw transgress over the last week that you've been able to improve upon to get ready for this week and conference play?
Still tinkering with the offensive line. Still trying to find the right chemistry. Still trying to find the combination of execution and physicality between the 5 guys that we're playing. And don't know that we solved that yet, but we certainly got a lot of work at it. And got to have another good 4 days this week. A couple of the young receivers that hadn't shown up on your stat sheets yet, with the injury to Rodney Williams, they're getting a ton of reps. And so at some point they'll have to play in game situation and make a big 3rd down catch for us. So all those reps in practice right now are invaluable to them. I think went back on defense and kind of, made sure that we understood what the standard was of how to practice and how to get to the ball and how to tackle. I thought our defense staff did a great job with emphasis of that last week. They didn't like, giving up those 4-yard, 5-yard muddy runs to Southern Illinois. And so they came back with a chip on their shoulder last week in practice, but it's got to carry on to this week and then carry over into the game.
This may be more of like a fan question or a media question, but is a little extra emphasis being a rivalry game, a close game like that with Murray coming up? Do your guys have a little bit bigger step with it?
Yeah, I don't know if either side does anymore. I think it's more of a fan thing, and that's great. I'm all for that. Because both teams have so many guys from, out of state and from different areas and stuff. But I'll make sure our team, understands the emphasis of an OVC game, of a close, the proximity geographically of another reason that game's important to our fans and being at home. So there's a lot of reasons.
How's the preparation different for an OVC school that you may be a little bit more familiar with than the non-conference?
Yeah, well, one thing is having the same offensive coordinators, well, both of us do on both sides of the ball. So there's familiarity from last year to this year. So there's familiarity with that for sure, that both teams have an advantage of. You know each other's personnel a little bit better, considering, you know, if you played a team last year, you know how you matched up against a certain player and who's fast and who can cause you some problems. You know, so that's what is fun about conference games is the familiarity, especially when it's the same staffs that carry over.
They kind of like the tendencies stay or more defined, so you
Yeah, I think so.
a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, I think the world of Mitch Stewart, head coach there at Murray State. I really enjoy him. I think he's a good person, and you know, he's done a great job with that program the last couple of years. I mean, they beat us 2 years in a row. I mean, so give them tons of credit. It's been 2 good games, and we've come out of the short end, so we've certainly got to be ready to go.
That probably ought to be motivation enough to.
Well, you know, I don't know what else to tell the guys, but, you know, you're coming off a loss. They beat us 2 years in a row. You know, you better get yourself ready to go because that's certainly how we'll make sure that we coach this week.